Now we got Felix.
Yes, sir.
You got Felix. Felix is joining us. Yeah. Thanks, thanks for thanks for getting up so early.
Oh,
This
not
is
a
like
problem.
half past six for you, right?
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Did you get your coffee?
You know what? Here it is. I'm ready to go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. This is
Let's
go
do
time. This is go
this.
time right now.
Brilliant. Felix, we actually met in Ghana and with Ayo on them. And Felix was just like one of those amazing people. He's got a big heart, always full of energy. You know, like there are people who energize you. Felix is one of those. And then there are people who drain you. And then there's none of those people on this call right now. But yeah, but thank you for really doing this. You're joining us from Los Angeles.
From Los Angeles, yes.
Fantastic.
All right.
Great.
Hello, everybody. Sandras, thank you so much for this opportunity. There is nothing more important than for me to help leaders. And I'll get to that in a second. But so I wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to have this talk. And for IO previously, that is he's giving you some amazing insights. In fact, some of the insights that he is giving you is not only what he just told you, it's actually the things that he decided in between. Like one thing he decided, he realized was who he was as a leader. He didn't go out of his lane, right? He knows exactly what he does best and he sticks with that. And then because he does that so well, he knows what he needs as far as other people around him, right? And so you go out as a leader, what we do is we go out and we bring and we find that talent, we pull it together and we create something magical, right? That's what we do. And Sandras, I mean, this wouldn't exist without what you're doing right now. You are a great example of that person that pulls all of us together to make a better place, right? And right now, we absolutely need that. I mean, more than ever, this world needs leaders. And you can see it in the
Absolutely.
States right now. We need leaders, right? Even in the US, we need leaders right now.
Exactly, exactly. And like you, I right now for me it's a bragging moment. As South Africa, we've got a leader. We got
All
a great
right.
leader right now. So yeah,
Yes.
if you guys need a president, we can lend you our president for a few months for lockdown.
Well, maybe in a few months things will change for us too. So we'll see, right? We'll see. Okay, so what I do, and let me share my screen with you guys, right? So what I do is I teach elite team leadership. I teach this. I teach culture, and it's something that I am absolutely passionate about. And as you can tell by my voice, and what you do is what you are also passionate about is where you go and you start and you add value, right? And so I don't want to start with who I am. I want to start with just a reminder of who you are, right? So you are a special breed, right? Leaders aren't like everybody else. They don't think like everybody else. You don't think like everybody else, right? You go first. That's the most important thing is that you take risk, right? You are the ones that everybody else in your family's like, what the hell are you doing? What are you crazy? And you make it happen, right? So here's what that means. Leaders define new standards. This is what we do. You create new possibilities, and that is the only way to change the world. Okay? So understand first, remind yourself of who you are. Just right off the bat, just remind yourself of who you are. So here's who I am, real quick. My job is to be the Phil Jackson to your Michael Jordan, right? In each and every one of you, there is greatness right now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this webinar. In fact, very few people in the world would join a webinar like this. Even if it was free, it doesn't matter. They just won't do it. And why? And there's a lot of reasons why, but it doesn't really matter. All that matters is that you're the ones that actually tuned in, right? You're the ones that are actually stepping up. You are the ones that are actually making that kind of difference because other people are not willing to do that. And so for the last 20 years, I've actually had a couple companies. They are in placement. And what I did there, actually, what I realized what I did is I really understood culture. I understood leadership and culture of different companies, and I found leaders to lead that kind of culture. And so Confidently now is something that I created starting last year with about 50 of my great friends who are amazing at business, supporting businesses and creating businesses to turn them into extremely large enterprise value businesses. And so that's what we do now. And so over 20 years, I've been in personal development. I'm a senior trainer for Tony Robbins. I do work for Tim Draper at Draper University. I love teaching entrepreneurs, and I do a lot of executive coaching. Also, I teach culture and leadership to gang leaders, and entrepreneurs at Draper. Some of my most favorite memories are from the gang leaders that I work with. They're amazing. And also, I facilitate leadership events with youth around the world, right? Because to me, it's unbelievably important that we learn this mindset early. And anybody who wants this kind of mindset, that it cultivates and they have opportunities to learn and how to step up. And so that's also why you guys are here, right? To get more in your minds, to go to talk to people who have been there before so that you don't have to repeat any of their mistakes. So I have two outcomes for this workshop today. We got 30 minutes, right? Remind you of who you are at your best. And the second thing is to remind you of how much of a badass that you are, right? Hopefully you're smiling a little bit and laughing. You have to be a badass to be this kind of a leader, to do the things that haven't been done before. All right, so the first thing I need to know is that, one, we got 30 minutes, right? Use the chat box right now. Just give me a number 1 in the chat box, please. If you're paying attention to this right now, and maybe you're not, maybe you're like off listening to this, watching it, or you're doing the middle of coding right now. Just use the chat box really quick. Just let me know that you're there. Give me 1. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Second, be engaged. This isn't me just talking at you, even though it is the webinar setup. I don't like actually doing it this way. I actually like being in front of you, talking to you guys, right? But here's the thing, as leaders, this is what we need. We need teams. Okay, so I've hired I've helped companies hire thousands of people. The most two important things they always tell me, I want somebody engaged and I want somebody passionate, right? If that is what you want on your team, give me a number 2 in the chat box. Give me a number 2. If you want somebody that they're engaged and they're passionate, there you go. That's what I'm talking about, right? Here's the deal, leaders. If you want your teams to be engaged and passionate, you have to go there first, right? You have to go there first. Are you showing up that way every day? That's how I'm going to ask you. Every morning, are you showing up wherever you need to go on your, before it was maybe in your office, maybe in your workspace. But now when you go onto a webinar, you're using Zoom, you're using some other technology, Microsoft Teams, whatever it is, Google Hangouts. Are you showing up engaged and passionate to your team? Right? If you're not, just check in with yourself right now, right? That's one of the first things we have to do, because you are the 0.001% of the world that's willing to do this. And you have to remember that. And everywhere you go, people are watching how you act. And if they're watching how you act, you have to show up. Okay? Remember that. So what does every leader need, right? So my training actually is in physics. So I went to school and I got a degree in physics. So how do you change any system? Any system. Because everything, if you look at everything, it's just a system, right? That's what they taught us in physics. You got to figure this out. You got to figure out what the system is, right? So what is the most key ingredient to change any system? It's energy. So as a leader, you have to bring the energy. To change any system, to make coffee, you need to add heat, right? You have to add hot water, which changes the surface of the bean, which draws out a specific flavor and specific characteristics that change your coffee, right? And so with every action, there is a reaction. There's also inertia, and you guys feel this every day. Inertia is where something is at rest and you have to make it move. There's resistance, there's friction. Leaders change inertia, right? You put things in motion. And every day, there are times when you don't want to put things into motion. It's tough work, but this is who you are. Understand that this is the life you chose. And so that if you go against your own grain and your own belief system, that's only going to hurt you. So understand that we must, as leaders, we have to be ready for that every day. We have to be ready for it every day. That you expect it and you rise up as a gladiator every day. That you are ready every day to face this. And that you are the ones that can change it, right? So how do we go about this as leaders? Here's the key ingredient. It's physiology. What does that mean? Physiology first. Go ahead and say it with me right now. Physiology has to be first. So physiology first. Remember this all the time. Is that you must change your own physiology, the way you breathe. In fact, do this with me. We're going to do a little quick breathing test that my friend gave me. She is an expert in meditation. And in Los Angeles, I don't know how it is where you live. Los Angeles, the traffic is horrific, right? Not quite as bad as traffic I've experienced in India, but it's pretty bad. And so what I want you to do is do this. We're going to breathe in through your nose for a count of 3. And then you're going to breathe out through your mouth for a count of 6. And we're going to do this about 6 times, okay? So go do it with me. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 3. Breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out through your mouth. How does that feel? Right? Something as simple as that. As simple as drinking some water, not coffee. It's actually water that you need. Coffee is something that as my ritual in the morning, but every day I need to drink at least half of my body weight in ounces of water. Are you doing that as a leader? If you're not doing that, you're not setting yourself up right for the day. And those are just 2 really basic things in physiology. Physiology also means that you move your body. You know, you go for your daily walk, you do your daily exercise, whatever it may be, some push-ups, some squats, it doesn't matter. Get your body moving because you need your body to show up when you show up, okay? And then the last thing that's very important is called the psychology of yes, all right? So what I'm gonna ask you to do real quick, so we did the breathing, drink some water if you have some with you. Psychology of yes is like this. When I ask you to, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and you're going to say yes with me, all right? In the beginning, it can just be just yes. But as we do it a few times, you're going to start getting more and more into your body, right? Remember, if you want passionate and engaged teams, you have to go there first. It doesn't mean you have to show up like this every day, but you have to have this energy in your body and people need to know it, all right? So on the count of 3, I want you to give me a yes, okay? On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, yes, all right? 1, 2, 3, yes. 1, 2, 3, yes. 1, 2, 3, yes. Feel how that feels in your body right now. You take your deep breath in. Feel how that feels in your body. If you expended that energy, your actual fingers should actually start tingling. In old Chinese culture, that's called qi, right? That's an energy that's in your body that you can expand. And you know how this feels. When you're driving in your car and you're singing, all of a sudden you feel like somebody's like you're at a stop sign or a stoplight. You think that somebody's watching you. You look over and they're like this. Whoa, there goes my headset. And they just go like this because they don't want to see you looking at them. But that's the energy that connects us. Does that make sense? When you're expending that kind of energy, singing, going full blast, the energy that you expend is it's like goes out from you, right? And you guys all feel this. This is just part of the human connection. And that's what we live for as leaders. Putting that connection together and making it go, okay? Now, forget about what you need. What does everybody want? What do you want? Type it in the chat box. What do you want? Why do you go into battle every day? Why do you go into the public forum of, of absolute like potential ridicule, right? Why do you take the risks that you do? These are success, influence, change perceptions. I want to succeed. I want to be happy, right? I want to be I want to be determined. These are all beautiful answers. So what everybody wants is results, right? And not just any result. What kind of result do you want? Do you want poor results? Do you want good results? Do you want excellent results? Or do you want outstanding results, right? I think everybody that would take a part of this kind of seminar is looking for outstanding results. We're looking to not 10x, we're looking to 100x, we're looking to 1,000x, we're looking to 1,000,000,000x, right? Because you're creating something from nothing. So I have a little formula here that I've learned from Tony for a long time. Oh, geez, we're almost out of time here. All right, so I better speed up. So everyone wants results. And results, what did people ask you to get those results? They see you guys getting amazing results in life. They ask you for what? They ask you for your strategy. What are they willing, like what are you doing to get there, right? Except when you tell them your strategy and everything that you've done to sacrifice to get there, do they do it? You know that they could actually get great results, but do they do it? No. So what's holding them back? Everyone wants the strategy to get results, right? And they think strategy is most important, except strategy is all about, there's books everywhere about strategy, except people don't, how many are there? There are billions of them, right? And so what's before strategy? Henry Ford said something amazing in the early 1900s. He says, everybody says to themselves that they can and they can't. Like people say they can, people say they can't. Either way, they're right? So you tell yourself a story. The reason that you're on the journey right now is because you have a story that says that you can. And remind yourself of that story right now, right? What was your story to be outstanding? What is the story of the opportunity about this crisis for most of the world right now? Most of the world thinks that we are doomed or the government's controlling us. They're creating a story of something. As leaders, our job in this crisis is to create a story of I can, I will, I must, it's done, right? And so this shirt reminds me of that because I train superheroes. This is what I do, right? So say it with me. I can, I will, I must, it's done. Make that a creed of your leadership that I can, I will, I must, it's done, right? And say it with that energy and passion. I can, I will, I must, it's done, okay? And so this is the most important part, is the actual state. Feeling like this is what you need to do. Every morning, remind yourself, you don't show up like, oh my God, this is gonna be the worst day. What kind of state is that? There's a state of defeat, right? So every day you need to show up and you need to remind yourself, no matter what the odds are in front of you, doing things that haven't been done before, there are massive odds. And yet those odds are overcome every day. Why? Because people believe. People show up in this kind of state. Remind yourself of how much of a badass you are. For the next 3 minutes that I've got right now, I'll answer questions later on. You guys can send me stuff. Sandras can give you my information. I will answer all questions. But take a look right now. I want you to do this. If you're right-handed, put your right hand in front of you. If you're left-handed, put your left hand in front of you. For a moment, I want you to remember a moment where you were outstanding. You were getting things done. Put yourself in that place. Sit up like you were sitting, or stand up even. I can't do this with my video camera, but stand up right now and just think about a time where you were on fire, right? What was an emotion you felt? Was it pride? Was it determination? Was it joy? Was it love? What was the exact emotion? Just say it out loud. What was the specific emotion? Not I felt good, not I felt bad. What was the emotion? I felt exuberant. I felt unstoppable, whatever it is, right? So put that in your hand right now. What is the emotion and what does it look like? What is the shape of that emotion? Is it a circle? Is it a square? Is it a heart? Whatever it is. What is the color of that emotion? Is it red? Is it blue? Is it bright or is it dim? Is it light or is it heavy? Is it hot or is it cold? Is the surface smooth or is it rough? What does it say to you? What does you being at your best say to you? What are the sounds it makes? Do you hear people cheering? Do you hear your parents clapping? Right? Do you see somebody say, you hear somebody saying that they're proud of you? What does it smell like? What does it smell like? What does being a champion smell like? Right? What does it taste like? If you were to dare taste it. So I want you to take that and I want you to squeeze it in your hand. And from every day, just do this one thing. Just one thing every morning. Wake up, you look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, right? I can, I will, I must, it's done, say yes. Squeeze it in your fist, say yes. Squeeze it in your fist, say yes. Squeeze it in your fist, say yes. You have to be your biggest fan. Remind yourself every day how much of a badass you are. Own this state of leadership. Remember, we want the big things. We want to take on the huge obstacles. That's what we were built for. Just remind yourself every day that you have everything you need already to make that happen. Make that decision right now. Remember the state that you need. You will create a new story every day. You will create a new strategy every day, or to follow on the strategy that you already have. You will remind yourself to get there. And here's my information. Sandras, thank you so much for the opportunity. I do this because you are the leaders for my children. And I look forward to seeing the world that you create because my children will be following you. And so I thank you very much from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Felix. Like, wow. Wow. That was amazing. Like, all of us are on fire right now.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, Sandras. You know this, right? You know this. Let's go.
That's right. Yeah. I remember, so we have a few more minutes. I remember when we were in Ghana, first time, like you on that day, we brought pieces of planks.
Yes.
And you say by the end of this session, we're all gonna break these pieces of plank with our bare hands. And I looked at one like, oh, I think I picked a wrong one because I thought it was too thick.
Oh, we had Ghana wood. We didn't have US wood. We had Ghana wood. This wood was like wood was like more dense than I've ever seen.
Like Ghana wood, African wood. You're like, it's not like red wood. So that was, for me, that was scary. And then by the end of the session, like everybody had broken through their pieces of planks. You're like, men, women, you know, it didn't matter what size you were, everybody had broken through and were in tears because that had just broken the belief that I can't do it. I remember I still have that piece of wood where I wrote down what I thought I couldn't do. And then breaking through that, just like, I thought this was not possible. And then it was. And that wasn't like days. It was just within a few hours, I went through a piece of wood with my bare hand. And there were smaller people and smaller women who did the same thing. And there wasn't like, this is wood for women, this is wood for men, this is wood for big men. And then that time, actually, I saw something which was amazing, was the reversal of the stereotypes. It was like men were crying and women were breaking through wood. You know, because we were like, no, men don't cry and women can't do this. But it really just like changed it.
Yep. Yeah. Everybody had the same wood. We had Ghana wood. It was like more dense, more thick than I've ever seen, and everybody went through. And that's that.
I wasn't prepared. You think like maybe you brought special wood from California. You know, that wood from the market in Ghana.
I don't know where Courage got that wood, but it was strong wood for strong people. That's what it was.
Yeah. And then later in the year, you and Gina invited us to go to Tony Robbins' event, and then I went now to Tony's event, and there was 10,500 people in a stadium full. On day 2 in the evening, we actually walked on fire. I did
Yes.
the fire walk. Again, that was incredible. When I started out, I was like, oh, am I going to burn? I wear a lot of shoes, and my shoes, when I grew up in the village, my feet could do this, but not anymore. I'm a city boy now, you know? But then by the end of the evening, again, like 98% of the people, imagine 10,500 people walked through the fire. Again, it was big people, small people, people from the city, village, like all races, we all just did it. But again, it was that breaking through belief. So thank you for the work you do, and thank you for being such a wonderful mentor. We're looking forward to more sessions with you. You really, really are an amazing person.
Hey, when we can all get back together again, I would love. Let's take everybody through it. Gina will come down. We'll do the 3-minute the ice bath challenge. That's
Yes.
the next step, baby. You walked on fire. Now you got to dip yourself in the ice. just as a reminder, everybody, do something every day that you didn't think you could do. That you can. Every day. It doesn't have to be something big. Just do something that you didn't think you could.
Exactly.
You can. You're leaders. This is what you do. You create new realities for everybody else because they didn't believe. You create that belief. That's your greatest gift.
So we're very happy to have you on Startup Circles, and we will tap into your expertise, your energy. Like what you've done for us in this event right now is something you've never done. Like just putting all this together, technology, checking stuff, and all of this, and getting people like you, Steve Blank, and all of that. Like all of this is like next level. But it's again because of being in the right circles, being in space of circles of people like you, and your energy is so contagious. Thank you once again.
Thank you. I love you, brother.
Thank you. I love you.
Just kick ass, everybody. Let's go. It's go time. Let's go.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Thank you very much.